Hello, welcome to DIY Design by CCW, and thank you so much for clicking on my video. Well, today, as you can see, I'll be doing a DIY for you, and I have three glass pieces that I'm going to make over, and hopefully I can make these pieces look like a set. So I have these thrifted cylinders as well as the smaller Dollar Tree cylinder. I'm also going to be making a mirror for you using these oval mirrors. I'll be working with this butterfly cutting tool as well. I have other items here such as some beautiful paper. I have some rhinestone trim. I have these mirror tiles that I'll be working with. Also, these beautiful crystal knobs. I have a couple of different shapes I'll be using. Now, I may be using these acrylic discs, but I may switch those out for mirrors, as well as these butterfly brooches that come from Walmart. And I'll see if I can make all of this look like a set. But the first thing I'm going to do is go off camera, clean these glass pieces with alcohol, and then we'll jump right into today's DIY. Let's start with the mirror. Here you can see I am tracing out the shapes of the oval mirror shapes rather on these cake boards. Now these are regular cake boards that you use when assembling a cake. You can buy them at any craft store or grocery store, anywhere you get your cake making or crafting supplies. And the reason I use these is they're just the right thickness and strength for this kind of application. Now after tracing out the shape of the mirrors, I'm just going to cut these down to size and then begin to glue them together. Now the reason I do it this way is to add strength, and also it can, to make the mirrors a little bit thicker or whatever thickness I'm hoping to achieve for the look I'm hoping to achieve. Now here you'll see that I'm putting quite a bit of glue. I'm pretty liberal with it, and the reason is I just want to make sure that these layers stay secure. And I'm using E6000 Quick Hold, but you can use whatever glue you like. Just make sure it's one that has a strong, fast hold and one that dries clear. So here you see I've applied the glue in between each layer. Then I went ahead and I applied another mirror on top. So the reason I do that is really for strength and aesthetics, so that no matter what way you look at the mirror, it looks good. Now here you see I'm just gluing on those knobs I showed you at the beginning to use as legs for the mirror or for the tray. Now these knobs, you can buy them on Amazon really inexpensively. I do have them in my Amazon shop. And for this application, I'm using E6000, the regular strength, in clear to make sure that the legs stay secure. So now I'm working with the butterfly tool. Here you can see I am just cutting shapes out of this beautiful paper. Now this paper comes from eFavormart. Really beautiful gold paper, and what I like about it is it's waterproof and washable paper, so you can use it in an application like this. Now here you see I'm applying a little strength. That's what the butterflies look like, and here I'm just cutting a few more shapes because occasionally I'll have a mishap while I'm applying the butterflies, and I just want to make sure that I have a few extra shapes just in case I need them. Now I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of an additional embellishment to the butterflies. Now I'm using mirrors and mirror squares to decorate this set, so I do want to add just a little bit of pop of silver to these butterflies, and I'm doing that by cutting down some mirror strips, and I've calculated that I can fit maybe 2 of these on each butterfly, and I'm going to go ahead and glue them on so that the butterflies look good when I get ready to apply them to my set. And then once I've done that, I'll be moving on to the next part of the DIY. So before I move on, I want to show you how I prep the butterfly brooches. I don't remember, I think I've shown this in a video or two before, but just in case, I thought I would include it. Here you see I'm just using wire cutters to remove the back of the brooches, and then that way they can lay flat. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and finish putting the mirror together now that everything is dry. So I'll begin by applying these gold mirror strips around the mirror so that I can hide, the edges of the cake boards and where the cake boards are showing, and also add a little bit more bling. Now, these mirror strips do come with adhesive, so the glue that I'm applying, you don't have to do it, but you're going to notice throughout this DIY, there will be times when I will apply adhesive, and then there will be times when I will not. One of the reasons is I'm working with two different brands of mirror strips, and one of them really has a really strong adhesive that I don't really need to add any glue. In fact, I'm able to actually remove the strips once I apply them and then reapply them, and the adhesive holds up. Now, this particular brand, I believe this is called the Pop brand adhesive. It's great. They're gem stickers technically, and they do work and they are beautiful. However, the adhesive is not as great. Now, actually, I think these are not the Pop brand. These come from Amazon, the gold strips, but they're similar to the Pop brand that I'll also be working with, in that while they do have a decent, adhesive, in an application like this, I would, prefer to add the glue. But again, that's, optional. If you were making this DIY, you may decide that the glue isn't optional and that the adhesive hold is strong enough. So here I'm just trying to make sure that everything is evenly placed, and then once I do that and I make sure that everything's secure, I'm going to go ahead and start adding some additional embellishments to this mirror. So now to finish the tray, we'll just add a little bit of embellishments. So I'll start by placing this butterfly ornament, or rather brooch, dead center of the front of the tray. If you don't follow my channel or you're new to the channel, one of the things I like to do is to add a focal point to my pieces, and I do that with brooches and other elements. So after the glue sets a little bit, what I did is go ahead and add a couple of these butterflies, the ones that I finished with the mirror embellishments, to either side of this brooch. And then this tray will be finished. And once this glue sets, I'll move on to the next part of the DIY. All right, so now I'll go ahead and start working on the glass pieces. I'll begin with the Dollar Tree piece. It's just a little, one of those little Dollar Tree containers that I love to work with. And I'm just going to do a slightly different design on each of these pieces. Of course, this being the Dollar Tree piece being the smallest piece, I've scaled the design down a little bit but I will use the same elements in the same color scheme, obviously, so that in the end, hopefully it all looks like a set. Now here you see I've applied a little strip of the gold mirror tiles, and now I'm going to offset that gold with the silver trim, which is, by the way, the trim and the mirror tiles here, you can purchase both of those in my Amazon shop. So this trim, or actually I take that back, I'm sorry, the trim comes from eFavormart, the rhinestone trim, and I do have a link below where you can purchase that if you like through eFavormart, since I'm an eFavormart affiliate. Okay, so now you see I'm just adding some of these other trims, or rather some of the other mirrors, and I'll kind of mix and match how they go. When I started, I wasn't 100% sure which way I was going to go. I just kind of let, the creative juices flow, and excuse me, and it turned out the way it turned out. So hopefully you like how it turns out. And I'm going to go ahead and stop talking, let you watch me work here. You can ask me any questions you want down in the comments section. I'll play some music and I'll come back when we get to the next part of the DIY. Now, before I do that, I do want to say that you're going to notice, and I think I mentioned it early on in the video, that for some of the strips, you're going to see me add a little bit of extra glue, because it really just depends on where the strip is going to be located. If I'm going to be adding a brooch or something like that, where the strip will have to hold a little bit of additional weight. Or it also might depend on which brand I'm using, because I am working with 3 different types of strips, and I'll make sure to leave that information down in the description box for you. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking and I will be back when we get to another part of the DIY. right, so before we get to the final reveal, I'll just show you quickly how I'm going to make the lids for this set. Now, initially I was going to do these lids or make these lids with acrylic, and I decided that mirrored would go better since, you know, the overall theme of the pieces is a mirrored look. So there you see I've just glued mirrors together so that the lids will be mirrored on both sides. And now I'm just adding some of that same rhinestone trim that comes from eFavormart around the edges of each. And I'm doing that with my E6000 quick hold glue. Again, you can use any glue that you like. Just make sure it's clear, that it has a strong hold, and in this application you want it to have a quick hold as well. So there I'm just cutting the strips down to size. Now once I get these glued on, then I'll just go ahead and move on and add crystal knobs to each of the mirrors. And that's going to be it. These are some of the easiest lids to make. Now if you're wondering why I'm making lids, I do that for almost all of my DIYs because I really like my pieces to have a purpose. I don't typically make decor for decor's sake. It's usually some sort of storage set or something like that. Although occasionally I will make or try to, you know, create a vase or make over a vase, maybe candle holders, things like that. So there you see I'm just applying or carefully applying the trim around the edges. And then again, once I do that, then you'll see that I'll go ahead and glue on the crystal knobs. Now, for when I get to the crystal knobs, you will note that I will switch the glue. Usually I will use the regular E6000, but I think for this set, I may have kept it with the quick hold glue, just in case I want to switch out the knobs at some point. And there you go. I pulled out the knobs. Now, even though these lids are different sizes, I'm going to go ahead and use the same size knob for each lid. And these knobs, again, you can order them through my Amazon shop or find them, you know, anywhere you like on Amazon. They also sell them at Home Goods and other stores, and usually you get several in a pack. All right, guys, now this is how the mirror turned out. I really like it, but please let me know what you think. I'd love to hear. Next, we're going to look at the entire set to see how it looks together. Again, I really like it. It's definitely glam, but let me know what you think. There's another view of the set, and then we'll take a closer look at everything. Again, I'm happy with it, and you know, I'd love to hear your thoughts. So there we see a closer look there at the side view and the lids, a little bit closer look and where you can see how all the trim and the mirror squares come together. I'm really glad I didn't do any painting with this set. I like that, you know, it's a mix of the silver and gold and the clear glass. But again, I'd love to hear what you think. I certainly could have left out the gold butterflies, but I'm always a little bit team too much. You know, I love the glam and the over-the-top glam, but I'd love to hear what you think. If you made this, would you leave out the large butterflies or leave out the gold butterflies, or would you make it just as it is? So there's another view, another close-up view. And so again, guys, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope that you'll go and watch other videos on the channel. I'll make sure to link a few similar videos for you to watch. I did make a set similar to this last year with the gold butterflies. So again, I'll make sure to link that video in the description box. If you haven't subscribed, I hope that you'll decide to do that. I'd love to have you be a part of the family. And I want to thank you, all of the channel members and the subscribers that follow the channel, so very much for your support. Now, I can't wait to talk to you or to see you again in another video. Thanks again for watching. Have a wonderful day or a wonderful night. Bye-bye.